Good evening everybody and welcome to the Ultimate Racing Championships. I'm James Casey and today we are in the streets of Monte Carlo for what should be an interesting night. Always is at Monaco in league racing. And of course we're starting with the Xbox One Tier 2 race, and then after this we will be going over to the Tier 1 race of Xbox One and finishing the night's action with the PS4 race. As I said, this should be an interesting one. Monaco, always plenty of incidents and action. Maybe not too much overtaking, but I think that we could see some real surprises here today. Just the challenge of keeping out the walls is enough round here. For 39 laps can seem like an age for the drivers, needing all of their concentration to get through unscathed. We've got 16 drivers here today in Tier 2. Significantly, we are missing an ERL driver, Chimera, who's won the last two and jumped to the top of the championship by 25 points last week, with all of his rivals hitting problems and him taking, of course, the win. But he's not here today, so a very good chance for people to catch up. Neither is his teammate Irel Vader, who we haven't seen for a few rounds now. Not sure what is going on particularly with him, but he is actually second in the championship still after winning two of the first three rounds. They do have one driver here though today. They've got Irel Kiva. We're seeing quite a few yellow flags out there already. John Salonika on an outlap there, going down the escape road. Just getting going once again now into the Lowe's hairpin. Yeah, so our next closest man in the championship is Tom123 for the win, who had such cruel luck last time out in Spain. He's quite a long way back now because of that. No points in the end due to a puncture on the last lap, but could have easily been on the podium had it not been for earlier incidents in the race, kind of compromising his event. But yeah, he's 37 points back on 56, and there's no War clone troop here today either, who's been consistent throughout the season but can't make it today, so he missing out there. 49 points for him, and we've got 45 points for ESR Maze too. Just has not had a very good time of it in the last couple of rounds. Well, he's not here either for some reason. Sure, I saw him in the lobby, so something's got a bit odd there. Sure, I saw him in the lobby just about to go in. Interesting. Thought he was in. But yeah, that's obviously someone there missing out again. So actually we're missing quite a few people here, so real chance for some drivers to make a name for themselves. And also help their championship. I'd say Jam Pancakes is a good one to watch out for. He's had 2 races so far in this league, but he's done very, very well, a 4th and a 2nd. Great opportunity for him to put that all together. Right, what have we got so far? Quite a range of times. 1 minute 8 all the way through to 1 minute 11. Let's have a look at the tyres. Of course, they've probably, at the moment... Oh, actually, no, for a change. What have they got? Yeah, people going onto the Hypersoft tyres already, which, I suppose with it being such a short lap, they've done their kind of outlap quickly, done on the harder set of tyres, and now they've put on those Hypersoft tyres already. Usually we don't see them kind of going out until about 9 minutes to go with the softest compounded tyres, but... they're already out there now, just doing out laps after their first few runs. Obviously, our Ben retired without setting a time, which isn't ideal for him. Let's just see. Baztek is about to start a lap here. Current provisional pole sitter. Let's go on board with him. He's the only driver here for Tempest Shoot today, so a lot of weight on his shoulders. Through turn 1 nice and cleanly. Of course, you've got to use all of the track possible. Really getting close up to the walls. As close as you dare, pretty much. I think he's looking very, very steady through here, though. It looks fast. actually. So he's yeah, just taking it very, very smoothly through the corners, trying to keep as much speed through mid-corner, putting it onto the straight. Bacon Yum is beating his time at the moment on a 1:08.6. Right into the Neuville chicane, so easy to lock a brake there. He's nicely through that, now just waiting for the traffic to get out of the way, which they have done nicely. Through to back, and then the swimming pool chicane. Really nicely done there, carrying lots of good speed into Raskas. Nicely through there as well, just looking really smooth, really clean. I think this could be a good lap time. And it is a 1:04, 1:08.04, sorry. 1:04, that'd be quite a time. Which puts him to the top once again. Here comes BPRL reversal now. Currently in third. Just finishing off a lap as he tries to go higher. He goes to the top with a 1:08.3, but that's quickly displaced by Tom 123. Great effort by him to go just that tad bit quicker, but it's looking pretty close so far. Here's PFL Sarja. See, last week was very unfortunate. Didn't start the race due to a connection problem. But he showed good pace in qualifying in what was his first appearance, so let's see what he can do now in Monaco. Looks pretty good through there. Through Raskas, Anthony Noge, and onto the straight. Either not an improvement or he's on... He has done a lap. So just no improvement there for him. Soon drivers coming into the pits. Still got plenty of time, so they've already done a couple of runs of these guys. As Tom just has to wait for his teammate there, Bacon Yum, to come out the pits before he can go into the pit box. Quite a bit of a wait. So you can see the cars now coming out for him. Oh, sorry, the mechanics coming out for him. Yeah, there's just so much time. I suppose they might be looking to do even more runs. They'll have plenty of the Hypersofts. They will have gone with the softer option, I'm sure. Just use plenty of the tyres here because qualifying position is so important, and it's a nailed on one-stop strategy. Even starting on the Hypersofts, usually people like to try at least, or well, quite a lot of the time actually, people are going on the middle compound in qualifying. And really only use the softer compound if they absolutely have to. But it's so different here because it's still a one-stop even with the softest compound, because track position is just so important. Doesn't really matter how dead your tyres are, as Hamilton showed in real life. You can defend round here. Sadja has just retired, so we won't see him going any higher. Here's BPRL Imp. Driver who we haven't seen much of this season. Did the first race and returned last time out in Spain. Finished 7th there, which is a pretty good result. And obviously 4th in Australia. So he could be one to look out for as well, but he's only currently 8th. I think most people are, well, we can see a lot of people in the pits, and also a lot of people just on out laps. I think Bacon Yum is about to start a lap here. And he has, yep. The second Sync Motorsport car. He's actually reserved. Quite a few reserves here actually today, but he is one of them. BPRL Reversal, another one. Of course, we saw him in China, didn't we? Came 10th, which I thought we probably would have been slightly disappointed with, but second so far is probably more of what you would expect. Yellow in Sector 2. But that goes away quite quickly, so it won't affect Bacon Yum now as he lines it up. That Portier going into the tunnel. Just fired up the rear tyres there. Bit of a cut there through Neuville chicane. Definitely all four wheels on the curb. Just gets so much of a sense of speed around here in Monaco when you're so close to the barriers. Everything just looks a million miles an hour almost as the cars fly through there. Swimming pool. Gets it up onto the straight. Looks like a pretty messy lap, but it's on. 1 minute 7.9. Cracking lap from him, so that's the way to go. Did look a little bit all over the place at times, but that's what happens when you're right on the limit. So that is a fantastic lap there by Bacon Yum. 0.3 of a second quicker than his teammate now, Tom. I believe is also... I think this is a lap. Yeah, it's not going to be an out lap because it would say, wouldn't it? So yeah, this is also a lap. He's trying to reclaim that provisional pole. 5 minutes to go now. And at the moment it's looking good for Sync Motorsport. In terms of the league championship, sorry I haven't mentioned that actually so far, they are the closest team to ERL. ERL have a dominant lead at the front there, 86 points. But, good result here for Sync. Oh, flying through there did Tom. I think he cut the corner, so it's probably invalidated his lap. But yeah, good opportunity here for Sync to close down the points, and even there is an 86 point gap at the moment, this championship is not over because, of course, we're only 5 races into a 21 race season, and we've got to change games yet. That's only a few weeks away now. The new F1 2019 game will be coming out. First race will be Austria on the new game, so we've only got 2 more rounds after this one on the current game, and everything could change then. Absolutely everything could change when we change game. Could see a complete reshaping of the order, but the drivers will stay the same because teams have put in their lineup for the whole season. But some drivers might just go to a next level on the new game, you never know. So things can change, and if Sync are within 50 odd points going into that, they've got a cracking chance. Before reverse also coming into the pits, we haven't seen a big time from any of the top guys for a while now. But they'll have to do it soon, because this is it now. Last few minutes of the session. Last opportunity to get an all-important position on the grid. Jam Pancake, someone I mentioned as a possible contender, has not had a good session so far. Currently down in 12th. We'll wait and see what he can do. Let's see tyre-wise. Yeah, pretty much everyone on the Hypersoft tyres, but Baztek there making the call to go on to the Ultra Soft tyres, and if you can start in 4th position, that will work quite well. I'm not sure what he set his previous lap time on. If he could... oh, he's coming in. Probably still just about got enough time as Sync Motorsport cars come out there in unison. Yeah, just enough time to quickly turn it round as it's such a short lap. Obviously only under 1 minute 10 seconds. Here comes Bartek Fraz, currently 5th. These times way quicker than what we saw in real life. Real life, they didn't get under 70 seconds, did they? They were in the 1 minute 10 still. But yeah, the driver's here. A couple of seconds faster than that in real life. More yellow flags out there, Sector 1, Sector 2. See, our Apex is out. Not sure whether that was an incident that destroyed his car or whether he got a bit of damage. Yellow's here as well, he's going to Nouvelle Chicane. Yes, that's LCR Apex there, with a wheel missing off his car. That hasn't slowed down by Bartek Fraz, he was off to the side of the track just. Into the Rascas. Oh, sliding the car out there. Always gets so close to the wall, Anthony Noge. And across the line, but no improvement there. I think he's going for another one, is he? No, that's it. He's done for the session. Killer Snipers has gone up into 3rd position. So look out for his teammate, Jam Pancakes. Still hasn't put in top 10 lap yet, but he's going for one now again. Last opportunity for him. Kivara's retired. But let's keep our eye on these guys. At the moment, they are the top 2 for Sync Motorsport. Just coming into their laps now. Bacon Yum currently 1 minute 7.9 through the hairpin, and just a few corners back we have his teammate Tom as they vie to keep their positions at the top. Killer Snipers isn't going for another one. BPR reversals backed out, so we've just got Pancakes, Baztek, Fraz. Fraz actually backed off as well, hadn't he, I think. Oh, there's a mistake there by Snipers just getting out of the way. Obviously going all the way back to the pits. Bartek Fraz has retired, so we are just getting down to our last few. Pancakes goes into 8th position. Don't know where Baztek is. He's a little bit further back. Bacon Yum improves to a 7.7. But what can Tom do? He's got to find half a second. That's an awful lot. Can he do it, though? Oh, he does find a bit of time, but it's not quite enough. Bacon Yum looks to be starting here from pole position. We've just got one car left out there, and that is TSR Baztek. Currently on a 1 minute 8.4. He's got to find 7/10 of a second. And he has changed now onto the Hypersoft tyres there. He was round on the Ultra Softs when we looked at him, but he got out of the pit lane just in time. Started his lap now on the Hypersoft tyres. Can he find the time on them to go to the top? Oh, he did. He did find quite a bit of time. He moved right up the order into 3rd. So good effort there by Baztek, but he cannot stop Sync Motorsport from rounding out, locking the front row of the grid. Bacon Yum, the reserve driver, pole position at Monaco straight away. What an introduction for him to this season. He's joined by Tom, just 1.5 off. Then we had Baztek. Good decision, I think, going on to the Hypersofts there. He's improved his track position quite a lot. Killer Snipers, a little bit of a gap back to him on a 1 minute 8.2, but a good effort from him to be in 4th ahead of BPRO Reversal. Then it was Bartek Fraz, BPRO Imp, Jam Pancakes in 8th, LCR Apex, and Irel Kivar there for Irel in 10th. Then outside the top 10, Sieger, John Salonika, LCR Apex, TL Pickless, Chris Michael Jones, and LCR Ben, who didn't set a time after retiring early in the session. But what an effort there by Sync Motorsport. They're going to be delighted with that. Now comes the tough part, though. 39 laps. Can they keep it clean? Can they, between themselves, first of all, and then with the walls for the whole 39 laps? It's going to be a mighty effort to do so. 1-2s are tricky to get. ERL have obviously got quite a few so far this season, but we have seen teams have kind of been in good positions and then lost it from the start of the race with a poor start. So it's all going to be down to that, and then just settling into their rhythm here for Sync Motorsport. Bit of a change here in Tier 2 for this week. We are now doing a formation lap. That's because Tier 1's just been moved back 15 minutes. We had been running Tier 1 at 7 o'clock to avoid a clash with another league. But now that's gone to 7:15, so we've got time for a formation lap here for the Tier 2 guys. There won't be too much to look out for in terms of tyres. Obviously the top 10 were all on Hypersofts, I think. And those outside the top 10, we will see what they do. Let's have a quick look now. A bit of a mix there, actually. Quite a few, 4 of them going with the Ultra Softs, 1 on the Hypersofts there, LCR Apex, and LCR Ben going onto the Super Soft tyres, which will go very, very long into this race. I suppose that makes sense from outside of the top 10, but here they come. Just getting a final feel for the track before they hit it in anger in the race. No chances for mistakes now. One hit with the barrier and your race can be over. So the focus has to be there throughout the race. How many people do we reckon are going to finish the race? If you're watching, I'd like to see that in the chat. We did a bit of a prediction there for Azerbaijan about how many people would finish, and I was pleasantly surprised by the number of cars that did. but there were quite a few crashes still in the castle section. This is a whole track of castle section, basically, with the walls right by the side of the track throughout. So I think we could be seeing quite a few incidents, but hopefully not too many, because I think we could have a cracking race here. Oh, oh no, that's just them disqualified. I thought they'd been kicked off, because obviously Sancho had the problem last week with connection. I thought he'd been unfairly kicked out or something, but no, that's obviously just a formation lap. A few cars are lining up there. LCR Ben at the back on those super soft tyres, but at the front it is Bacon Yum. We have 5 lights, and we are racing in URC. Took an age for the cars there to move away from the lights. Bacon Yum has kept the lead from the start then. Tom slots in behind. Bastek keeps 3rd position. Bit of action there between Biparo Roberto and Bartek Kraz, but those two hold position as well. Now Apex looking around the outside of Biparo Imp. Can't quite get that move done. I think most people have kept in pretty similar positions here at the start of the race. Just check the position change. Yeah, the only change of positions is LCR Apex getting through on Jam Pancake, so there's a bit of action back there. As that was just John Sanalika moving down a few positions. Don't know what's happened to him there. There's no visible damage, so I don't think. I think he's got away with that. A surprisingly quiet first lap here. Bacon Yum making a run for it already. Gap of 9/10 of a second on his teammate, who holds 2nd position but is followed closely by TSL Bastek. We got a prediction through here. 8 finishes from F1 Maestro. Half, 50%. Let's see. If there's anything to go by from the start, we'll see quite a few more finishes than that. Very clean. Have got Jam Pancakes coming into the pits there. He's obviously picked up a bit of damage, I would suspect. Yeah, they are just changing the front wing there. We didn't get the view I wanted, but they were changing the front wing, because that was an elongated pit stop. But he's the only man, I think. John Stanley could drop down a few positions, but I don't think he's got damage because he hasn't come into the pit lane. So Rizumi, good start here. And of course, we could be seeing the safety car as well. Big opportunity to see those throughout this race. But at the moment, no need for it. Bacon Yum leads away. Had a good gap of 9/10 of a second, but hasn't been able to extend it any more than that for the moment. And he has through that sector. He looks very, very strong through to back in the swimming pool. Really, really good through there. About half a second he's gained through that section of the track. That's 7/10 going into it. TSL Bastek right behind Tom. Of course, as we go on to lap 3, DRS will be enabled, but out of all the tracks, Monaco, absolutely no difference pretty much the DRS makes. Very, very short, straight, it's not even straight, is all there is. Or Chris Macker-Jones interchanged his front wing as well, 2nd man in. But Sync have done it. They've had a clean start. Seen quite a few people here in the chat saying sync up, hashtag sync up. And at the moment they're doing their fans very, very proud. Cracking job from the start, nice and clean. Doing exactly what they had to do, but there's still such a long way to go for them. They cannot get complacent, especially when you've got a car pressuring you right behind. You've got to carry on pushing, which is not a position you really want to be in, I suppose, in Monaco, but it does keep you alert, it keeps you focused, and to keep worrying about where you are on the track, getting close to the wall. Not too close. Big Perot reversal in 5th, keeping his position from the start, and did the whole of the top 6. And Imp as well, he was 7th, wasn't he? Yeah, so, yeah, basically no change throughout here at the top. Keeping it steady with what their pace was in qualifying. But there is quite a significant gap between the top 6 and then Imp. He's got a nice little gap behind as well, so he's kind of running in no man's land. Errol Kivar to 9th position. Only 2 points at the moment for ERL. 43 for Sync Motorsport. And of course the fastest lap point as well, which is currently held by Bacon Yum. It's actually 44, so they pretty much half their gap in the League Championship, which would be a cracking result for them. And Bacon Yum really extending that gap now to over 2 seconds over his teammate. It was pretty close in qualifying, only a 10th and a half, but in the race Bacon Yum just seems to have more confidence. And he's doing a cracking job here. Pulling away to 2.5 seconds now. Certainly a lot of pressure here on Tom with Bastek, Killer Snipers and Reversal right behind them. Bivasija has picked up a penalty already. Running outside of the points as it stands though. They come through Casino Square. Oh, penalty there for John Salonika as well. Not too many places you can cut here, but obviously Saint-Devant, sorry, turn 1 and Neuville chicane after the tunnel that we're coming up to now. Certainly places where you can cut and pick up a penalty, as well as actually the chicanes around the swimming pool area as well. So there are quite a few places actually to cut, despite there being barriers in quite a lot of other areas. Well, look at this. Bacon Yum over 3 seconds now. That is a cracking performance. I think Sync will be kind of disappointed they didn't put in the car maybe a little bit earlier in the season. This is his first appearance, as I've kind of said a few times. Ben Ziller was the other driver that they had. He was putting some good results. Obviously, a couple of top 5 finishes, was on the podium in Spain, but has had quite a few DNFs outside of that. 2 DNFs and a 12th as well, so no points there. He's obviously a very, very good driver, but Bacon Yum has proven himself to be a cracking driver as well, so I suppose they've got a bit of a tough call now on their hands maybe, but look at that, 3.5 seconds doing a cracking job. John Salonika and LCR Apex have pitted. I presume that would be for damage as well. Still only on lap 6, so plenty of time until we'll be seeing people making their scheduled pit stops. 0.3 of a second here for Bastek. This is very much like the real Formula 1 race here. We've got a Red Bull harrying the back of a Mercedes. Bastek will be probably thinking about getting through very, very soon. With that kind of gap, you do need to be ever so close and you need to build up to an overtake. But there is opportunities for it. Fly past the pits once again. That's like holding that gap around 0.3 throughout the last sector. Kivar's into the pits as well. Let's see if that's for... Oh, this looks like a... Yeah, this is actually a scheduled pit stop for him. He's seen a bit of a gap, I reckon, because the LCR Apex, of course, has been into the pits. Or as Chris Smacker-Jones retires. But yeah, Kivar's found a gap. Oh no, but oh, what's happened there? Oh, he's been reset to the track. He was in the middle of the track there, so he's been reset coming out the pit lane for some reason. Must have crossed the pit line or something, I don't know, but that's cost him. Because he has not come out into a gap whatsoever. He's come out at the back of a train of cars now, which is not good for him. As I said, Chris Smacker-Jones was out, so they're just coming through that sector here. He's lost it, just coming out of the swimming pool. Got Bastek now into the pits as well, so we are seeing people making early pit stops here, just trying to get an undercut. Putting on the super soft tyres, do last a very, very long time, the super softs, but they won't give you that ultimate performance that the ultra soft tyres will. So you won't quite get the undercut effect that you would maybe want. Obviously our Ben, of course, started on those super soft tyres. He's currently running around in 9th position. So yeah, we are seeing people making very early stops here, trying to get the undercut, but therefore having to go onto the super soft tyres. But Baztek giving it a go. Will Tom respond is the big question. Straight away, Killer Snipers has kind of closed up on him. He was holding up that train of a few cars. And then Pancakes has straight away moved up to also challenge Tom. And we've got Bartek Freres catching up as well in 5th position now. But BPRO Imp still quite distant in 6th. Here comes Tom. Will he pit? Yes, he does. So he's responding, and so is Killer Snipers. But Reversal stays out. Let's see what happens here in the pit lane. Tom coming out of his box. Will he hold position on Killer Snipers? Yes, he will. He's comfortably out in front. Well, it is very close, but how does that compare to Baztek? That's what's important. And Baztek looks to be in front. Yeah, he is quite comfortably as well. Very good job on his outlap. And he has comfortably dropped Tom by 1.5 seconds there. Wow, what a lap by Baztek coming out of the pits there. And that has really helped his situation in the race here. He has got a bit of a problem now because he's got LCR Ben and also PFL Seeger as well to come across. But he's got track position, which is so key, as I've said. Any chances of closing the gap on Bacon Yum will be dependent on getting through on Ben here, though. He's got a good run into the Neuville chicane. He just slides through there, using his tyres nicely, and he's through. Of course, Ben also on the super soft tyres, but he's had those from the start of the race, so they won't quite have the performance. And Baztek has obviously got more pace as well. Bacon Yum is in, so let's just see what this gap is like. Was 3.5 seconds that he kind of had on Tom, but Baztek has comfortably jumped him, sorry. So, let's see, this could be quite close actually. Baztek is going to be in front possibly. They're going to be side by side, that's for certain. Bacon Yum side by side now as they go up the hill, but Baztek has got it. As they go into the casino square, Baztek has the inside line. Bacon Yum tries to hold it around the outside, but that's not going to work. And Baztek out of nowhere is in the lead of this race now. Sync Motorsport are going to be absolutely devastated. They had a 1-2, and now they're in 2nd and 3rd. What an effort by Baztek in the pit stop phase there. That was brilliant. And very good racing as well to hold that position. Bacon Yum challenged him hard. PFL Sage is not making it difficult. Not making it easy, sorry, to overtake. Oh, and that could open up an opportunity for Bacon Yum to get back through here. But no, it doesn't. Baztek managed to muscle his way through. And in the end, that's worked out really well for Baztek actually, because now Bacon Yum is sat behind. And this is an opportunity for Baztek to create a bit of a gap. Where's Reversal going to come out of all this? As they've kind of been held up, Reversal could have an opportunity of making up a few places. Bacon Yum goes down the inside into turn 1, and that's put Sager into the wall. Reversal hasn't made any gains out of that, but Bacon Yum desperate to get through there, muscled his way through into turn 1. And there comes Tom as well. Through now, but over a second behind. Bacon Yum is going to be devastated. That was a bold call to pit that early, but the correct one. Absolutely the correct one, because from out of nowhere, I just can't get over that. Bacon Yum was massively in the lead. Perhaps there was a mistake from Bacon Yum. There must have been. He had such a comfortable gap. Great pace as well. And now he's in 2nd position. We've kind of had a bit of a dispersed group now. Reversal and Snipers separated quite a lot now from the other two and from each other as well. As Pickless is our current race leader. Haven't seen much of him today, but he is out there at the front for now. We finally see Sager into the pit lane. Oh, here we go, Bacon Yum. He's not giving up. He has still got the pace. because he's managed to close down just a little bit so far on Baztek. As I said, that gap was just over a second once he'd got through on the cars yet to stop. He's just closed that down by a few tenths. He'll be desperate to get this back. He'll be pushing with all of his might, I reckon, to close back up and have a chance of overtaking. But Baztek looks really good. He looks really confident. It was just I suppose, a matter there for just getting through and then putting in the pace that he knew he had before, but just couldn't deploy because he was behind Tom. Everyone on the super soft tyres who's pitted. There's BPR reversal, but it's in the fastest lap with a 1:11.5. Oh my goodness me! Bacon Yum's crashed! Where did that come from? What an odd section of track to crash from! I can't believe that. He's lost his front wing completely. Just lost the car completely. Spiraled into the wall and then bounced off onto the other side. And we've got a safety car. Oh dear. Bacon Yum, what is going on here? That is such an odd crash there from him. I have no idea what happened there. Just suddenly out of nowhere seemed to lose the car in the oddest of parts of the circuit, and he's now going to have to stop. There's a safety car, so he won't lose as much time, but he'll lose so many positions. What a disaster for him. And from a comfortable lead, he's now going to be... No, he's going to be outside of the top 10. I think he's just going to be behind Jam Pancakes, I think, once he's made his stop. Here he comes now into the pits. Baztek retakes the lead as obviously Pickless comes in. He was yet to stop. This is going to work out quite well for Pickless, actually, by going long, now making a stop under the safety car where cars have just got to go that little bit slower. Yeah, it has worked out for him. He's going to be in 7th, and obviously quite a few cars as well just deciding to come into the pits. Apex does a bit of damage. Pancakes coming in as well. That's just for a fresh set of tyres. But look at that, Bacon Yum into 9th place. Which means our top 10 now is Baztek, Tom 123, Killer Snipers into the podium positions. BPR Reversu just put in that fastest lap before the safety car in 4th. Baztek Fraz in 5th. Imp in 6th, hasn't quite had the pace of the leading lot yet, but could see a change now in the second part of the race now. Pickless 7th, Apex in 8th, Bacon Yum in 9th, and Sager in the final points position as it stands. But wow, what a change we've seen in the last few laps, and we're ready to go for it all over again now. When the safety car restarts, everyone bunch back up together. Let's look at the position changes. Pickless has been the big mover, up 7 places there. Bacon Yum, of course, the big loser. In terms of tyres, they are all on super soft tyres, other than Apex on the ultra soft tyres. And with this safety car period, they'll be able to make that to the end, obviously. They were asking quite a lot from the tyres, over 30 laps, but it is doable on hardest compound, and those hardest compound of tyres will easily make it now, with the safety car period just allowing a few laps to cool them down, of course, so they're not overheating and not wearing out. Also, chance for people to recharge their batteries, gear up, in terms of fuel as well, actually, saving that. So a good opportunity to go full guns blazing, pretty much, when the restart takes place, which should be this lap or next, I think. And whatever you do, don't crash under the safety car, which someone has done, which I thought I saw that out of the corner of my eye. Apex has had a collision there and picked up a 5-second time penalty. He said, hang on, it said the incident was with killer snipers, didn't it? That's what it said. Apex penalty for hitting killer snipers. He's in 3rd position. That can't be right, can it? But they're all in the queue now, all the way back to 14th. Everyone on the lead lap so far. Safety car is coming in, so let's get back underway here. Let's get cracking. They often say that safety cars breed safety cars, and at Monaco that is definitely the case. We saw a reasonably clean start the first time round. We will see it again with all the cars together once again, but it's not Bacon Yum at the front, it's Baztek. And what's going on there? Tom looking around the outside before the safety car had even finished. Baztek now does lead away. Not the best of restarts because Tom is right behind him there. He's kind of judged that to perfection as Tom in terms of when Baztek was putting the power down. LCR Apex is into the pit, so he's obviously picked up damage in the safety car, and that's completely ruined his race. Tom looking down the inside there, but that's not going to work. He's just had a bit of a moment because of that. Now Killer Snipers has the opportunity to maybe get past him. That doesn't happen though. Tom holds 2nd position, but he's dropped a little bit of time now on Baztek just with that moment after attempting the overtake into the hairpin. This is a bit of an accident hotspot a lot of the time. We seem to have got through it cleanly. Yep. See what Bacon Yum's looking to do. He's going to be desperate to make up positions. Of course, being undercut wasn't too bad. He'd only lost 1 place, but now he's lost a load of places from that crash. And for the moment, he's having to stick into 9th position. But Baztek looking strong. I think him and Bacon Yum are pretty evenly matched on pace, but we saw from that first stint that Baztek did have a bit more pace than Tom. He was right behind him. Tom is going to have to up his game if he's got a chance of fighting with Baztek, but Tom is, of course, as I kind of said, over the last few weeks, he's a fighter. He's not going to give up, so it wouldn't surprise me if he is well in contention going into the last few laps here. Baztek does look really, really strong. But we thought that about Bacon Yum as well. Things can change very, very quickly here in Monte Carlo. Oh, it's just been brought to my attention. Oh no, it's just been brought to my attention. There are 2 LCR Apex listed. And that's why I was wondering where ESR Amazed was. I was wondering, wasn't I? In qualifying, I was saying, where is he? Where is he? Oh, a bit of an argy-bargy going on there between Bacon Yum and LCR Apex. And there goes Bacon Yum through into the back. Fighter there through the Nouvelle Chicane, and Bacon Yum is through. I was saying, where is ESR Amazed? There he is. He's the LCR Apex in the Williams. Didn't even realise that. There's 2 LCR Apex listed. He's the one in the Williams, so I do apologise for that, but obviously you can understand why I was going off the name that was listed. But yeah, that is ESR Amaze there at the back in the Williams, of course, as he would usually be for 183 Esports. And then LCR Apex in the Sauber there for Team LCR, so there we go. Bacon Yum's retired! The race has gone from bad to worse. Bacon Yum is now out. As, we can't quite catch what's happened to him. What a disaster. He was leading comfortably, then got undercut, then crashed, and then crashed again. No points for him, and that's bad for Sync Motorsport as well, because they were looking on making a real impact on ERL's championship lead. As it stands, of course, they will still be making big gains with Tom in 2nd compared to ERL Kivar outside of the points, but not quite the gains they could have. And I said it was difficult to get a 1-2, especially around here, and that has not come into play today. Very unlikely that we'll see a 1-2 unless the BPRL guys maybe can fight their way through. Yeah, it's pretty evenly matched here between Baztek and Tom. Their pace is quite similar. And, Tom not giving up here, but hard to see a way through unless he closes up another half a second or so. do need to be literally right on the tail. With no DRS advantage, you don't get a bit of extra straight line speed when you're within a second. You really don't gain that much at all in that. So you've got to close up on pace. Seen so many. Oh, he's picked up a penalty as well. Oh dear, that could be very, very costly. I mean, at the moment it would only drop him down one place, but that means that if he were to overtake Bastek, he'd then have to pull away 3 seconds to take the win. Could see the other drivers picking up penalties. Often drivers pick up penalties towards the latter stage of the races and it kind of evens it out maybe, but that's not a good time for Tom at the moment. He is at a 3-second deficit now. Let's look at Bartek Fraz and BPR Reversal, because these two are very closely matched. BPR Imp is sticking with them. In the first stint, he wasn't really able to stick with the top 6 it was then, but he has done this time. And Pickless doing a great job. Went long on that first stint and that worked brilliantly. Put him up to 7th after the safety car, and now he's holding pace with these guys, so he's put in a really good effort here. But he's got a lot of work to do to get to the front of the pack. Probably relying more on the misfortune of others than being able to overtake them, as it's so difficult around here. But Reversal not quite having the pace of Killer Snipers. He's picked up a penalty himself now, so yeah, that has evened out. So now, as it stands, with top 3 will stay the same post penalties. I think we could see this race actually decided by penalties, possibly. Has happened a few times throughout the season. Not, I don't think it has happened in Tier 2, but so it's just been the dominance, I guess, of VRL, but it's happened in Tier 1, that's for certain. I've seen a couple of races decided by penalties, actually. And, of course, the kind of podium positions as well have been swapped around by them. LCR Apex has picked up a 3-second time penalty. I don't know which one, but one of them has. So I'll say Killer Snipers has 2 penalties. That's worth checking, actually. Let's check the penalties. See, because I could have missed them. Bastek has a couple of warnings, so he's only one more warning away from a penalty. And actually, yeah, Killer Snipers does have 2 penalties. And at the moment, only 1 warning for Reversal. A couple of warnings for Bartek Fraz, both together. And a couple of warnings for BPRO Imp. So, yeah, at the moment... Oh, Killer Snipers has picked up... Oh, Killer Snipers is out! Oh, no! Oh, while I was checking the race director, Killer Snipers has retired. So those penalties, well, that doesn't matter anymore, because he is out of the race. I wonder what happened there. He got a 10-second time penalty for corner cutting, and then he retired. So that seems to me maybe like he just went straight on somewhere into the wall. But he is now out, and that moves BPR Reversal into the podium places. But he has damage. BPR Reversal has damage. Major damage to the front wing. And that's allowed Pickless to get through on Imp. Imp not giving up though. Muscles his way back through into the nose hairpin. We've seen quite a lot of argy-bargy so far in this race, but that really was shoving his way back through there. But he's done it. BPR Reversal has major damage, and he's not going to be able to get that to the end, surely. He'll be an absolute moving chicane if he stays out with that kind of damage, already losing stacks of time to the cars in front. Going through to back, this is where he's going to feel it a lot. And you'll just see those cars just flying up behind him. Well, it doesn't look too bad, surprisingly. Oh, he's run it wide again there. But he can't get into the pits. He can't get into the pits because that was blocked by Bartek Fraz on the inside. So he's just getting out the way now. That's probably the sensible thing to do. He gets out the way. Bartek Fraz now moves up into the podium position, but BPR Imp is right behind him again. Sensible decision from Reversal, that. Very sensible. Had massive damage, tried to get into the pit lane, but that was blocked. So he decided, you know what, I'm just going to get out the way. Sensible thing to do. Could have been much, much worse. In all of that hold-up, it almost costed his teammate a position to Pickless, but Imp fought hard and got that place back, and now he's got a chance of a podium as Imp. Yeah, a few of our top 5 there running into big problems. I've said this so many times this season, I'm like, Bartek Fraz has not picked up a podium this season, despite being really, really competitive. This is his opportunity now, surely. He's into position. I did check the penalties, but I've already forgotten whether he's got one or not now. But I know that Imp had a couple of warnings, didn't he? So there is obviously that opportunity of that balancing out, as I kind of said earlier. But Bartek Fraz has great pace, already pulled away a second from Imp. Looks like Imp and Pickless could be the main fight now, actually, between in the top 5, as Bastek continues to extend his lead nicely at the front. Of course, Tom has that penalty as well. Oh, bit of a fight here between Pancakes and Sager. Pancakes looking around the outside, which then becomes the inside into the Lowe's hairpin. He's got that move done nicely. That leaves LCR Apex, and this one actually is LCR Apex, in 6th position, but under a great deal of pressure from Pancakes. He has stopped as Apex, but he pitted very, very early. So these tyres are older than the cars behind, and that's why he's maybe not got the pace of the cars in front or behind. And that's why he's got a big train following him. Currently in 6th position. This is a good opportunity for Jam Pancakes. He hasn't had the strongest of races so far, or qualifying. But this is an opportunity for a good result here. Pickless is into the pit lane. He's got damage. You can see there on the left-hand side of the wing. Similar damage to what I think Apex has. I think that, yeah, he's got a tiny bit of damage, I think. Sorry, on the right-hand side of the wing. Oh, he runs very, very wide there because of that damage. Pancakes is through, and that's now 5th because of Pickless's damage. And Pickless, who of course benefited from Reversal coming into the pit lane, has now dropped back behind him. So Reversal into 9th, Pickless 10th. That's disappointing for him. Things are getting better here for ERL because they're of course relying on Kivar today. And he's up into 8th position, and that should soon become 7th. Apex didn't fight his teammate Ben. Obviously no point in doing that, so he's let him through. Will he do the same with Kivar? No, he's going to fight him. Will he come into the pits? That's the big question. You can just see that little bit missing from the wing on the right-hand side. Doesn't look major, but it was enough to bring Pickless into the pits. 3-second penalty there for Kivar. That was, you could see that cut from a mile off. So that's understandable. I think Apex will come in. He does. Sensible decision. He clearly had no pace and cars were just flying past him. But that's kind of left us with massive gaps everywhere. Baztek still extending his gap at the front. Tom in 2nd. Bartek Fraz continues to pull away massively from Imp, who now has a massive gap behind him. B-Pro Verso puts in the fastest lap of the race. He's gone on the ultra soft tyres. Oh yeah, of course that'll last to the end quite nicely, won't it? Middle compound, of course. So yeah. An extra point there for him, so still actually picking up 5 points as it stands, which isn't too bad, despite that damage that he had. And it could be more actually, because he's on a good set of tyres, and we know that Kivar has a penalty, at least one. We just picked up one. He might have had one earlier, and Reversal was someone who was doing quite well on warnings. So Reversal could actually move up here now on these nice set of tyres that are obviously giving him good pace. And he had strong pace anyway, didn't he? We knew that. Our rogue LCR Apex, who's actually ESR Amazed, is back into the points. He hasn't scored in the last couple of races, so this is a good chance for him. DNF'd in Baku in Spain after podiums in the first 3 rounds. So obviously he won't be happy with 10th, but at least it's something, which is more than can be said for the last couple of rounds, which cost him dearly in the championship. But I think our top guys now are just steadying their pace. Not really Baztek, he's still pulling away from Tom. I think Tom's kind of easing back now, thinking, I don't quite have the pace of Bastek. I've got a penalty. Let's just bring home an all-important 18 points. For him, that's massive in the championship. It'll cut the gap to 19 points at the top, which he could do something with, definitely. And if ERL keep on no-showing like they have done, we haven't seen Vader for quite a few rounds now. He'll move ahead of him. And Kima, our championship leader, of course not here today, and missed the first round. So if they carry on no-showing and he keeps on turning up, putting in consistent results like this, that's going to be putting him in a good championship position. So yeah, he's obviously going to try and bring it home. Bartek Franz has really good pace, so he should be able to bring this home on the podium as it kind of steadies back, because Pancake's behind him just hasn't got the pace to close down what is a massive gap. And he's got damage. Pancakes has picked up damage as well now. You can see that on the left-hand side of his wing, and that's why Ben is right behind him now. So that 12-second gap obviously is going to be extending now, surely, as Pancakes deals with that damage. We're getting to that point now where you might just think, I'm going to fend off this to the end and hope I could defend with all my might, but you can see just Ben pushing him around through this section of track, quite literally there, as he has a look. He can't quite get that done. Overtaking opportunity here, but Pancakes gets on the power nicely. And look at this is brilliant for reversal. As we've had Kiva into the pits, he's obviously picked up damage, so we've got another position there gained for reversal. And now he's got an opportunity of making up 2 more places. Apex is out. Let's follow with Kiva to see where he's crashed. Oh, he's hit the inside. He's clipped the inside of the wall. And then obviously gone off to the left. Look at this. This is LCL Ben desperately trying to get through now because reversal's right on his back. So he needs to get through on Pancakes as soon as possible. Pancakes really struggling here. Look at this pace. Imp, who's not pushing whatsoever, pulling away quite considerably from him. Reversal's crash here, weirdly, seems to have actually, I think it'll net benefit BPRL actually, because I think it kind of closed things up. Made a few other people crash, and he's managed to make up all the places, so weirdly I think they might actually get more points than before the crash. I think they were running around about the same positions as they will, if he can get through on both of these, of course. And that's looking pretty good because he's got great pace here. Ben down the inside, pushes Pancakes out the way completely at Mirabeau. And Pancakes has lost 2 places out of that, and now he's got Pickless behind him, who's another man who had damage. But he's recovering nicely from it. And this is a good opportunity for reversal on those fresh ultra soft tyres now, right behind Ben going into the Nouvelle chicane, and he gets through with ease. Reversal up into 5th. 2 PPRL cars now in the top 5. And Imp has got a nice gap there. So they should be able to bring that home now, as long as they just avoid any further mistakes. Ben could be fending off from Pickless very soon. Who's also another guy on fresh ultra soft tyres. And with strong pace, we've seen good pace from him. Pancakes now decides to come in. He did have quite a big gap behind him. I'm surprised he waited a couple of laps but then decided to come in. I suppose he realised how bad his pace was, but by staying out a couple of laps he's cost himself a lot of time. And he's going to be behind Kivar and the only non-point scoring man as it stands. But I think we will see possibly another retirement. We've seen quite a few since the safety car came in on lap 15. We only had 2 cars out, but 3 cars have retired and plenty more have hit the wall in the last 15 laps compared to the first 15. Someone in the comments saying, do you have to be in the top 10 to get points for the DHL? Of course, referring to the fastest lap, which isn't branded in URC. We aren't sponsored by DHL. Yes, you do have to be in the top 10. But as it stands, it looks like pretty much everyone who finishes is going to be in the top 10. So as long as Pancakes doesn't set it and no one else retires, it will just be the fastest lap, which at the moment is reversal, I'm pretty sure. I don't think... Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is reversal, yeah. With a 10.8, I think it was. So that'll be tough to beat. I guess someone might do it if they see another car retire. Pickles isn't really getting much closer to Ben here. I thought he would have a big pace advantage, but I don't think he does. Let's check the tyres again, because obviously it's all been changed around. Yeah. Ben's super soft tyres not too bad actually. 18 laps, so they'll still be in reasonable nick. But Pickler's fresh ultra soft tyres, you would expect them to be quite a bit quicker, but he's only a little bit quicker. He's only closed up about half a second in the last few laps, so perhaps expect a little bit more than that. And we've seen a lot of pit stops as well. Top 4, the only people who have avoided incidents basically and have stick with a traditional one-stop strategy. Wow, look at Reversal's pace compared to Imp. Has Imp clipped the wall somewhere? Oh, I think he has. I think Imp's clipped the wall. Is that damage on the right-hand side of his wing? It is. He's clipped the wall. He's got damage on the right-hand side. He had a big gap, but that's going to close down. You can see just the end plate is missing. Of course, Reversal has really, really strong pace, so it's not a surprise that he's closing in, but he's closed up 10 seconds. Pancakes has done the fastest lap with a 10.5 on the ultra soft tyres. That won't give him a point unless someone retires, but if someone does, he'll move up into 10th and get a point for fastest lap, so he'll get 2 points. Yeah, might actually be able to get through on him. And Sage pitted quite a long time ago. Oh, Imp's time penalty. This is going wrong here for Imp. Will he pit? He'd surely stay out at this stage. Oh no, he's clipped the wall as well. Oh, it's all just going completely and utterly wrong. That allows Reverse 3. Spins it around nicely though. Gets on his way straight away, but look at this. This has just gone all wrong for him. Picks up damage, then the time penalty, then spins it. He's going to drop right down here. Of course, we don't know what the penalties are looking like for other people. Apex has picked up a penalty, but that is ESR Amazed. He's the only guy left now who's named as Apex. But yeah, ESR Amazed in 8th place, listed incorrectly, has picked up a penalty as well. I have sort of lost track of penalties now. We have seen quite a few in this race, but it could cost him now because Ben is within 3 seconds and Pickless will be sued as well because of the damage for him. It wouldn't have been too bad if he'd managed to get to with the damage. It was only about 7 laps. He could have done that. As Sage has been passed by Kiva, now Pancake's trying to get through as well, and there's contact there as Pancakes clips the rear of Sage's car. Sage goes into the wall, Pancakes into the top 10, which gives him 2 points now because he's got that fastest lap as well. Pickless picks up her time penalty. Don't know whether that's his first, second, third, or whatever, but that's not going to be ideal for him. But yeah, going back to Imp, it wouldn't have been too bad. 7 laps, he could have made that to the end, but then a penalty and then a spin, just clipping the wall and spinning the car around has now put him in a precarious position. He might lose the top 5 place. And look at this, as Tom picked up damage as well. Tom has picked up damage, surely. I've missed this as well. People going under the radar here. You kind of thought the top positions were safe, but yeah, you can see he's missing the end plate on the left-hand side of his front wing. And that's why he's dropped pretty much 10 seconds to Tom. And now has Baztek, he's couldn't have dropped 10 seconds to himself, could he? He's dropped 10 seconds to Baztek and now has Bartek behind him. And Bartek has a good chance of getting through here with just a few laps remaining. Tom has a penalty. I can't remember. I've completely forgotten all the penalties. Let's check it through again quickly. Let's hope nothing happens while I do that. No penalties for Baztek. That's not going to affect him anyway. Oh, Tom has a couple of penalties. Bartek only has 1 penalty, so at the moment he doesn't even need to pass him on track, but I think he can. We know Reversal doesn't have any. He's been quite good. 1 for Imp. None at the moment for Ben. And I don't know about Pickless, but he's got at least 1. So yeah, Bartek doesn't have to get through on Tom for second here. He surely will. He's got 4 and a bit laps to get through. He's had good pace, and now Tom has damage. At the moment, Imp is not losing out too badly to Ben, which almost makes you think that Ben might have an incident as well. But no, his front wing looks all in order. So at the moment, Ben will gain a place. Pickless has dropped back considerably. He doesn't have damage. But of course he picked up a penalty last lap, so maybe he's just being a bit careful on that, not to pick up another warning. Bartek still just following behind Tom. He's got 4 laps left to get through. I think he can do that, surely. Should have loads more downforce, loads more corner speed, and loads more confidence as well. Bartek, since the safety car, has looked really, really strong. Tom will have just been kind of a little bit on edge now after making that. He needs these points. The difference between 18 points and 15 isn't going to be too much for him, really. It still moves him a lot closer to the championship lead. Ben now right behind Imp as well, so we've got a couple of cars now defending, but with damage. Tom's doing a good job here. He's maintaining the speed. Oh, ESR Amaze has crashed somewhere. So that is our virtual safety car, but just a few laps to go. Let's go on board. There is another car. How has another car crashed up there? That's the second time we've seen a crash going up the hill to Casino Square. I've never seen someone crash there, and we've seen 2 today. That is crazy. Yeah, he is now out, so no points for him, so the top 10 will all get points. Virtual safety car now. Tom takes that. Oh, this has worked out brilliantly for Tom. Tom takes that opportunity to come into the pits. Of course, it won't cost him as much under this virtual safety car. He should be ahead of Reversal. Will he? No, Reversal's still going to be in front. Tom's messed this up. Tom has got that wrong. I think Tom thought he had a big enough gap to go out ahead of Reversal, but he has not. I would have thought he would have as well. It was a virtual safety car, so the pit stop shouldn't have cost him very much, but that's dropped him into 4th position. I thought he would have come out in 3rd. When he'll have an opportunity of now doing the fastest lap because he's got the hyper soft tyres on. Oh dear. I would have thought he would have come out in front. Even if he had come out in front, he's got a penalty, so I'm surprised he came into the pits there. I thought he would have stayed out. I think he's made a poor decision there. If he dropped down to 3rd with a big gap to Reversal and done the fastest lap, 16 points on the podium, good result. As it stands, he's going to be 4th, even if he gets past on Reversal with the penalty. I think he thought he had a bigger gap to Reversal than he actually did, or that the virtual safety car stopped would take less than it did. But now he's desperate to get through. He's got so much grip. No, he should have stayed out. He's going to lose points net from that. He would have been 3rd, but now he's going to be 4th. He'll get a point for fastest lap, but that's... You're losing 3, so gaining 1 doesn't matter. He's going to try all of it he can to get past Reversal, and they've crashed! They've had an incident. Oh, Reversal saves it, though. That was a little bit naughty from Todd there. I think he went for a gap that really wasn't there. Put Reversal into a half spin. Reversal did a good job to save it. Tom will now, with that extra grip he's got those fresh hyper soft tyres. I guess he needed to do that to get the fastest lap, and also maybe a chance of extending the gap large enough to beat Reversal with his penalty, but I don't think it will be enough because Tom has 2 penalties. Sorry, I keep on checking this, but it's just hard to keep track of. Surely he has 2, doesn't he? Yeah, I was correct. He does have 2 penalties, so he's not going to be able to pull away 6 seconds, surely, even with the fastest lap attempt. But we are now on the fastest lap. I can safely say that these last few laps have been chaotic, but it hasn't been chaotic for this man. Baztek has looked brilliant. That bold call to pit early, got into clean air, put in a fantastic lap, undercut Tom for 2nd, and also somehow Bacon Yum for the lead. And from there, after the safety car period, he's been in a league of 1, really. He's looked clean, but with great pace as well. And this is a great opportunity for Tempest to pick up their first win of the season here in Tier 2, breaking the ERL dominance as he just laps ERL Kivar there. What a dominant display this has been from TSR Bastek in this second part of the race, and a deserved win is coming his way as he comes across the line and takes victory in Monte Carlo. PFL Bartek Fraz has not been on the podium so far this season. That is all about to change now as he comes through the final corner for the final time, and he is going to finish in second position. What a display from him, finally finishing on the podium. And Tom here pushing for fastest lap, pushing to create a gap on Pipero Reversal. Surely he'll get fastest lap. It's been a good lap. No, it isn't. He hasn't got fastest lap out of that, and he hasn't created a gap on Reversal either, who takes the final podium position because of the penalties for Tom. Good result there for Reversal. Bipro Imp will finish in 6th, penalties dropping him behind Ben, as Pickless finishes in 7th. Sager and Kiva were both a lap down, so Pancakes will finish in 8th. I think Pancakes had the fastest lap, didn't he? So I think that's 5 points for him. Tom didn't get the fastest lap there out of all of that, which is confusing. So, yeah, Tom missing out there quite a lot. Ended up in 4th. A poor decision, I'm afraid. I don't like to have a go at people, but it was a poor decision a bit under the virtual safety car. Lost him points. He would have been 3rd even with the penalties if he'd carried on with damage, because there were just a few laps to go. So even with damage, you would have still had a gap to Reversal. Pitting was not the right idea, I'm afraid, for him. Right, anyway, that race, because of the safety car and the virtual safety car, did take quite a long time, so we will be very quickly going into the Tier 1 race shortly after this. But Bastek has won from Bartek Fraz, BPR Reversal in 3rd. Then it is a Tom 1-2-3 for the win in 4th. Disappointing for him, but still good points, I guess, helping him in the championship. LCR Ben 5th, BPR Imp 6th. Then Pickless, Pancakes with the fastest lap as well. Sager and Kiva rounding out the points there. 1 lap down, both those guys. Then ESR and Maze listed as Apex. Then the actual LCR Apex in 12th. Killer Snipers, Bacon Yum, John Senlika and Chris Mackie-Jones outside the top 10 there. All failing to finish the race. Anyway, that is it for Tier 2. And we will now jump into Tier 1. It's, of course, been moved back this week, but it will also probably be a few minutes delayed as well, just while I go and set that up, because this race has taken a tad bit longer than I thought it would. But anyway, thank you very much for watching this Tier 2 race, and make sure to stick around for that Tier 1 race, as I said, in a couple of minutes. Goodbye.